When Satan tempted Jesus in the wilderness, he offered him all the kingdoms of the world. He took him up to the mountains. You can have all the kingdoms of the world. Jesus said no thanks. He resisted the temptation. And instead, when he came back, he moved his ministry to this humble Roman fishing village on the Sea of Galilee. It says in Matthew chapter 4, verse 13, leaving Nazareth, that was Jesus' hometown where he grew up, Jesus went and lived in Capernaum, which was by the lake. The Sea of Galilee is actually a lake, and it was also known as Lake Tiberias. That's Capernaum there. The big white building toward the bottom in the middle there, that's a synagogue. Let's spin around and take a closer look at it from the other angle. So that synagogue there was rebuilt in about the 300s. So it wasn't there when Jesus was there. But and the reason it was rebuilt is because when the Romans destroyed Jerusalem and the temple in 70 A.D., they destroyed a bunch of the synagogues too, all the synagogues they could find. So that one was destroyed in 70 A.D. The original, I mean, was destroyed in 70 A.D. But the houses surrounding it, those foundations and steps and doorways and all, a lot of that is original to when Jesus moved in. And it's really cool to have the hometown that Jesus set his ministry in. Capernaum sat along a trade route called the Via Maris. So, if I'm pronouncing that right, the Via Maris. So it was a Roman village. It had a customs office that charged fees on imports and exports, and it had its own Roman garrison of soldiers commanded by a resident centurion. So they had their centurion who lived there somewhere in town. And somewhere in this neighborhood lived the soon-to-be-called fishers of men, Peter's brother Andrew, who was a disciple of John the Baptist before Jesus chose him to be one of his disciples, and he switched over. And then their fishing partners, brothers James and John. The four of them lived here in Capernaum. Now look at this. See that black foundation, the old floor there? That's black volcanic rock, basalt. And that portion of the synagogue is the original synagogue. That black floor there, that's the synagogue Jesus taught in. We're told when Jesus first arrived in Capernaum, he went in that synagogue, that black rock next to it. That's the road he walked on. He went in that synagogue, and is when he first began his ministry, and a man possessed by a demon cried out and said, I know who